Hi, everybody. It's just a minute before the hour, so I wanted to jump in and say hello. And how is everybody? Uh, Good. Just looking at the room. How's it going? Hi, everyone. We'll give it just a minute for everybody to log in and get here. I'm super excited about this new training. I get really excited when I get to teach something new and I get a new idea. So I'm excited to share this with you today. We have people signed up from all over the world, Norway, New Zealand, Singapore, Mexico. Uh, so wherever you are in time and space, I want you to really feel that energy, feel the energy of all the creative people, of all the artists, of all the writers, of all the teachers, of all the healers who are coming together in this moment, in this space of this training, whether you're watching it live or tuning in later. Really feel the impulse there, feel the energy, see if you can almost picture it. Picture the world lit up by all these people with all these dreams and all these great ideas. I love that image. It excites me. And I know you're there because I hear from you every day. So if you've been feeling alone in the world, take this moment to recognize that you are part of a great tribe and a great community. And we're happy to have you here. So people are coming on. Good, good, good. Let me look at the chat. Lisa says, hey, this is my first webinar. Fantastic. Another first timer says, hi, glad to be here. Wonderful, wonderful. So great to see you. Vancouver, Canada. Beautiful up there. Great, lovely, lovely to see you all. I'm going to be checking in on the chat as much as I can and answering your questions as much as I can, and I'll stay on at the end to answer your questions for as long as I can as well. Hi from Kansas, Arkansas, New Zealand. New Zealand, you got up very early. Thank you so much for being here. Wonderful, wonderful to see you. Has it started? Yes, it has. If you're having trouble with the feed, like if I'm pixelated or I'm freezing, if you run your cursor over the screen, you'll see on my machine anyway, it's a little bar at the top, and the 1, 2, 3, 4th icon over looks like a little gear, and it says settings, and you can adjust to those settings so that the stream uses up less bandwidth, so that I'm not in high def. And that should sync up the image and the sound a little bit better for you. The picture may not be quite as clear, but the sync will be better. So if you're having that issue, I encourage you to do that. Also, close your Dropbox syncing. If you've got any other backup thing that happens automatically, close your other windows, your other browsers, your other internet things, because these webinars, while they're super fun and it's wonderful to see us in person like this, it takes up a lot of memory. So you want to be somewhere with a good, strong internet connection and close all those other windows. Great. Secaucus, New Jersey, San Francisco, Vienna, Austria. Hi, Toronto. Wonderful, wonderful to see you all. Okay, so we're just a minute or two after the hours, and you know I like to be very prompt, and you know how I like to start. I start almost everything I do with a little bit of breathing. And what we're going to do is inhale for a count of 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. I'll count us through it so you don't have to keep track. And really take this moment. Take charge, take ownership of this moment of breathing, preferably of our whole time together, to really claim yourself. Claim this body that you're in. Claim this amazing creative mind that you have. Claim this beautiful life that's spread out before you with so much opportunity. Claim all the people who love you. Claim all the great thoughts you have and whimsical ideas and all of the nooks and the crannies and the sparkles and the shadows. Take this moment to really look around the room of all of that, all of you, the room of you, and just be in the middle of it without judgment, I guess is really what I mean. So you ready? If you're somewhere where you can put your feet flat on the floor, that's great. Drop your shoulders back, loosen your jaw, soften your gaze, soften your heart, soften your face, your hands, your knees. Let your belly go really poochy soft, so that when you inhale, your breath drops like a pebble into a well. Ready? Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you. Thank you all for doing that with me. I think most of you know me, but if you don't, my name is Sam Bennett. I'm the creator of the Organized Artist Company and the Organized Entrepreneur Company. I am also an Infusionsoft certified consultant, which makes me one of about 500 people in the US as a sort of automation marketing, email marketing specialist. That's my sort of inner marketing nerd coming out. I'm an actor. I'm a lifelong actor. I still work as an actor. And I wrote a book called Get It Done, From Procrastination to Creative Genius in 15 Minutes a Day. Get your copy at your local independent reseller or on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. The book is, can I tell you this? This is so wild to me. For over a year, that book has sold almost the exact same number of copies every single week. Just like ding, 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 ding. And there's nothing, there's no advertising, there's no marketing. You can barely find it on my website. I mean, it's really like this stealth thing that just keeps happening and keeps growing, which is just so incredibly gratifying to me. So if you have a copy, thank you. If you are inspired to get a copy for a friend, thank you. You know, I always say get 3, get 1 for you, 1 for a friend, and then 1 to give somebody later to, you know, be somebody's book angel. You know, when you have that feeling of like, oh, I know, you need this book. So that's another thing that I've done is wrote the Get It Done book. And I'm the creator of a 3-day event called The Big Yes. The Big Yes, from procrastination, no, how to overcome perfectionism, procrastination, and self-doubt and make $10,000 or more from your creativity. It's a 3-day event happening in July in Los Angeles, and we're going to be talking more about that in a little bit. But I created this call because, well, for a couple of reasons. One is there's a real trend I started to notice that I thought was important to sort of call your attention to. And the trend has to do with business and the way business is done, is executed. I think for many years, business has had sort of a masculine quality. And even the terms of business, you know, get in there and dominate the market and kill them and crush them and numbers and market share. And, you know, there's been something very heavy-handed and very cold almost about business. And even business, I think, has taken some pride in that of like, it's not personal, it's business. But there's something new happening. And that's something new, that new form of business, that new form of creative entrepreneurship, I think is essentially feminine in nature. It's essentially female, which doesn't mean it's exclusive to females. Of course not. Lots and lots of men are involved in making money off of it, just as many men as women, maybe more. But the nature of it is very female. The nature of it says, the personal is business. The nature of it says, let's be inclusive, let's share, let's talk about it, let's be transparent, let's be honest, let's be spiritually motivated, let's have this be about art and culture and community, reunification. And it's a really exciting time. And it makes it really, really possible for people like us who have always been, I don't know about you all, but I've been a little bit too much of a delicate flower to engage in business. But this new kind of business is custom made for the creative person. So there's a whole new way for you to start making money to start having an impact, to start building a tribe or a community in the way that you've always wanted to, that is so easy and so inexpensive, I can't even begin to tell you. So we're going to cover some of those new rules, like kind of what the old way was and what the new way is. And I want you thinking and taking notes. I know a lot of you think better when your hands are busy. So I want you taking notes and doodling, because you'll have these great ideas and you think, oh, I'll always remember that, but you won't. So write it down so that you remember, okay? And as I'm talking, I want you to be thinking, how does this apply to me? What does this mean for me? Where does this show up in my life? How could I take advantage of this trend, of these forces that are coming to bear in the marketplace? Yeah, there's so much opportunity, and you are so uniquely qualified to take advantage of it. So I'm excited to share that with you. So yeah, so we're going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you about Big Yes. I have a very special offer for you for Big Yes. It's a little crazy. It's a little bit of a crazy offer. So hang with me. And then, like I said, I'll stay on the line and answer your questions for as long as I possibly can. Okay. Let me check in. Roxana says, I should warn the first timers that Sam's webinars are totally addictive, obviously in a good, awesome, fun way. Thank you. Yes, I'm excited to be a good addiction for you. Good. Anne, Mona, Valerie, Terry, great. Hi, everybody. Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see you all here. Man, there's a lot of you here. This is great. This is great. And also, again, to those of you who are watching this later, welcome, welcome. All right, here's kind of the big bombshell. Here's the thing I really want you to think about. Well, I wonder if I should maybe ask you guys first. Yeah, I'm a little curious actually. Before I give you the big bombshell, you tell me. Type into the chat. What do you think? What's the reason you think you haven't been more successful in terms of bringing your art, your healing, your creativity to the world, and either successful financially or successful in overcoming your own internal blocks, or what do you think is getting in your way? What do you think has gotten in your way historically? I have a good guess about this because I hear from you all the time, but I kind of want you to hear from each other a little bit about what that is. Is it, I know for a lot of you, you have a million ideas and you don't know where to start. I know, a lot of you were nice enough to fill out the survey and said, I don't even know really what business I'm in. I've got so many different skills and talents and things I want to do. I'm not even really sure how you would make a business out of that. I know some of you said you were overwhelmed by the technology stuff, dislike sales and marketing. There's a lot of things that will keep you stuck. Fear, yep, and fear of all of it. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of looking foolish, fear of trying and failing, fear of wasted resources, judgment, how to remain inspired after I start, a compulsion to under-earn, yep, perfectionism, expectations of grandeur and failure, where's the middle, needing a job to pay the bills, not taking enough risks, not doing enough targeted marketing, loving to prove that I can do things on zero budget. Oh, you guys are so close. Loss of confidence. Am I too old? Yes. Good at making friends, but bad at following up with them as clients. I feel like I betray them. You guys are so smart. You are so spot on with all this. This is brilliant. I hate marketing. I don't like business. I can do the art, but I have blocks. Sometimes I think it's just me, which is awful. I'm on the sidelines in life, not seen, although I think I'm a great artist. It's crazy. Yeah, haven't had emotional or friend support. My divorce broke me. Oh, honey, yes. How to get started. How do you move from a home gift maker to a professional? Fear of lack of income. Oh my gosh, you are nailing it. Right, exactly. Not sure if I have anything that anybody would want or enjoy what I have to offer. Yes. This is it. You're nailing it. You are not unclear about the nature of the problem. This is the nature of the problem. Exactly. And I want to go back a little bit because I had an insight a couple of years ago. I was in a very expensive mentoring program that was totally worth it, totally worth every dime. And my friend, we were talking about parents parenting and how we get imprinted as kids, what we get trained into as kids. And my mentor who's leading the workshop, David Nagel, said something about how, you know, the thing about growing up is we're either looking to prove our parents right or prove them wrong. We spend a lot of time and energy trying to prove them right or prove them wrong, which I thought was an interesting insight. And then my friend Robin Colucci, who's a book coach. Robin Colucci, she's in Colorado. She's great. If you're looking for a book coach, check out Robin Colucci. Robin stood up and had this like moment. She had this epiphany. She had this moment on her face and she goes, I've just figured out, she goes, my whole life, my whole growing up life, they told me as a child that I was too much. I was too much. I was too emotional. I was too demanding. I was too dreamy. I was too sensitive. I had too many feelings. My dreams were too big. My appetite was too big. I took up too much space. I talked too loud. I laughed too loud. I dreamed too big. I was reckless. I was feeling. I was emotional. I was sick. I was tired. I was excited. It was every message I got was, you are too much. And she said her internal response to this was, I am not too much. Watch me. I can survive on crumbs. I can survive on crumbs. And when she said that, I heard, like, my life got illuminated. I heard the biggest bell go off inside me. I thought, I did the exact same thing. I did the exact same thing. I will prove to you that I am not too much. I will prove to you that I am not too demanding. I can survive on crumbs. And I did. I did. I survived on crumbs. I survived on crumbs emotionally. I got into relationships where nobody was ever going to feed me the way I needed to be fed, where nobody could ever accept what I had to give. I survived on crumbs financially. Dude, the things I can do with beans and rice, you have no idea. I shopped at thrift stores. I put up shows for a nickel. I get those Social Security statements, you know, that says your income over time. And I'm like, how did a person live on that? How did I live on that? That's like well below the poverty line. Like, how did that happen? So there was this very deep programming that says you need to survive on crumbs. They told us that we couldn't do it, right? You got this message. You can't make a living as an artist. You can't make a living as a writer. You can't make a living as a dancer or a teacher or a healer or a massage therapist or a preacher or a spiritual guide or a prophet. You can't make money doing that. Get a backup, get a real job, get a plan. Don't be so unrealistic, right? That's what they told you. And, you know, they didn't know they were lying. They thought they were protecting you. They thought they were helping to keep you safe because they love you. What they didn't know, and what maybe you didn't know, is that you can absolutely succeed in whatever way you want to at your chosen art or craft. I know you can. And I'm going to say it again so that you hear me. I know, no matter what you have been told, I don't care how old you are, I don't care how unqualified you feel, I don't care what your history has been, I don't care. It's not relevant. Because what I know for sure is that you can succeed in whatever way you want to in your chosen art or craft. The world needs your work. The world needs your art. The world needs your healing. The world needs your message. It is not some crazy, misguided, half-baked, dreamy thing. This is real. That thing that you feel in your heart is your purpose. Guess what? It's your purpose. I got this thing from Creative Visualization. Maybe you guys know them. They did a poll. What did it say? 82.7% of people that they polled, this is sort of an informal poll, but still, 82.7% of the people they polled regret not following their dreams or fulfilling their passions. That's almost 83%. 83% regret not following their passions or fulfilling their goals. That's shocking. and it's sad. And I won't have it. I just won't have it. So the first rule, the first sort of new rule, the first thing I want you thinking about as we talk about how it might be possible for you to succeed in your art or talent or craft is this concept of succeeding however you want to. I think part of the problem, because they told us that we couldn't, because they told us that it was impractical, we never got a very good sense of what might be possible. You know, so we either have these completely grandiose dreams, these sort of childlike dreams of like, I want to be a movie star, I want to get a Nobel Peace Prize, I want to cure the planet, you know, which are beautiful. I'm not trying to run those down, but it's hard to get started on that because it's so big and so sort of untethered. Or we think very small, you know, I want to sell 2 of these little necklaces. I want to, you know, we think about what we can actually do with our own 2 hands. And that doesn't seem very interesting to us. So we're sort of trapped between this poverty of goal and excess of goal. You know, this dream that's way too big and this dream that's way too small, so we don't know where to start. So step 1 is let's find a dream that fits. Let's try to feed a goal that fits. All right. And it's one of the things I work on a lot in Big Yes when we're together for 3 days in July, is really figuring out, what do you want? What do you really want? And not just, I don't really have time to go into this right now, but what's the ambition? What's the goal? What's the dream that really illuminates you? You know, that inspires you, that makes you go, oh, well, maybe I could, well, if that's what I'm trying to do, then I could just, like, it feels easy and exciting, right? I don't know, it's a little like trying a new recipe. You know, there's the like, oh, I guess I could just make scrambled eggs for dinner. Or there's the like, oh, I could, you know, overwhelm myself by trying to cook a 37-course meal. Or, oh, I could try this thing that's a little new for me, but I mostly have all the skills and talents I need to do that. It's just me thinking about it in a new way, or executing in a new way, or getting some new information or a new tool to help me do that. Right? So that's step 1, is really, I want you to take a look at your dreams, at your goals, particularly your income goals. And some of you may be wondering, why am I talking about this in the context of money? Like, why not just talk about our artistic goals? And that's a really valid question. And sometimes I do just talk about your artistic goals, or your clutter clearing goals, or your relationship goals. But I find it really helpful to think about it in the context of money for a couple of reasons. One is, it's the #1 thing I hear from people. Well, I would, but I can't afford it. Well, I want to, but I don't have the money. I would love to do that, but I can't afford it. I would love to do that, but there's no way. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I would do this, but I can't afford it. I would love to come with you to Big Yes, but I can't afford it. I would love to do this training, but I can't afford it. I would love to take travel, but I can't afford it. I would love to give a gift to my niece or nephew, but I can't afford it. I would love to get a new car, but I can't afford it. I would love to, right? Can you tell I hear this a lot? Okay, so, you know, we got to solve that problem. You need to be able to make decisions in your life, not based on whether or not you think you can afford something, but whether or not you think something is going to serve you or serve the world you live in, right? And, you know, money certainly doesn't buy everything, and anybody knows that, it's us, right? We know the joys of the things that money can't buy, but there's a lot of freedom in the things that money can buy, including time and help and tools. The other thing is, you know, money is just, it's one of the biggest ways that we assign meaning to something. You know, if something's very expensive, we assume that that means more. It's a communicator. It's a signifier in our culture. And it's a great way to get the attention of all those people who've rolled their eyes at what you do, that when you start telling them, oh, really? Because I've got a mid-6-figure business doing this, they go, really? And all of a sudden, you don't seem quite so crazy, right? So it's a way to give it a little gravitas to what you're doing, and also to your clients and customers, to the people who are buying from you. It's a gesture of respect, of impact. You may have noticed the stuff you give away for free, people don't really pay that much attention to. You know, and I've used this example before, but I'll share it with you now if you've got some resistance to charging. You know, if I said, hey, let's take a yoga class around the corner at the YMCA, it's $5, and we'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever, and we'd go and whatever. But if I said, oh my gosh, there's a yoga class and it's $3,000 and we have to go. Like, how much attention would you be paying in that class? How much would that mean to you? How much would you be thinking about it later? How deeply would you be incorporating the lessons of that class because you had paid this outrageous sum of money for it, right? So the person who's charging $3,000 for a yoga class, they're not doing it for them. They're doing it for you so that you will pay attention, so that you will know that it matters, so that you will invest in yourself. That's what art and teaching does. It's an investment in ourselves. Okay, so that's why I'm talking about it in terms of money. But for those of you who aren't interested in making money, and there are definitely those of you, you know, here now, that's fine. That's fine. The stuff I'm talking about applies whether or not you're going to be charging for your work and whether you ever needed to charge for your work. Okay, let me pause for just a second and check in with the chat. Let's see. Yes, Clemency says, that's my problem. I don't even know what I want. Yes, right, exactly. Let me scroll through here. Allison says, you're telling me my life right now. Yes, to all this outdated paradigm. Crumbs, yes, how to unearth that deep programming. Yes, Jan says, love that realization. I really prided myself on being a hustler, working a ton and not having much to show for it. Did that for years. Yes. Valerie says, we're good at way too good at self-deprivation. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, a little technical advice if you're having trouble, if refreshing doesn't improve your thing, try a different browser. Yes. I like Firefox, but I think Chrome works pretty well too. Yes, people told you were too emotional. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Good. Great. Okay, good. Good. Yes, you guys are right here with me. I'm so pleased. Yeah, okay, so the big bombshell was was surviving on crumbs. That was the big bombshell. That was the big bombshell for me, was realizing that the source of all that, my source, you know, there's all those exterior messages, but the thing that had really kept me from making money internally was this belief of like, you people think I'm too much, you think I'm too emotional, you think I'm too big. Watch me, I can survive on crumbs. Therefore, I only ever survived on crumbs. I had to overcome that story. I had to overcome that inner programming. And it didn't, once I identified it, it didn't take very long. It won't take you very long either, now that you have a name for it. You can go, oh, right, that's that me believing I can survive on crumbs thing. I'm over that now. That's an outfit that doesn't fit me anymore. I don't do that. That's not my story. That's not my story. That was the big bombshell. Good. Lisa says, I want to make some money. Tired of feeling poor and lesser than. Right. Right. Don't know what my strength is. Don't know what my vision is. Yep. 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 Good. 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 Let me remove this sticky because it seems to be getting in the way of my chat window. Okay. Great, great, great. Okay, good. So let's keep going on this. Sorry, the scrolling thing is being kind of weird. It keeps going backwards instead of forwards. Okay. Good. So you do not need to survive on crumbs. We're going to get dreams that are the right size, goals that are the right size. We're going to figure out what you want. We're not going to do it on this call, but that's what working with me involves. That's what the big yes involves. Okay. Good. Sorry, I got a bunch of different pieces of paper because this is a new training. I'm so excited. All right, so let's run through some of these sort of old rules of business or things that you might have kept you from getting engaged in commerce, filthy lucre, as Yates like to say. And some of what the new paradigm is. And again, as I'm talking, I want you to be thinking like, ooh, how does this apply to me? Ooh, how does that perspective shift affect what I believe about how I could be interacting with art, money, the world, okay? So the old way, the old business sort of said something like, profit above everything, right? Go for the money, close the sale, always be closing, get them, get them, get them, kill, kill, kill. The new paradigm, the new rules say relationships are everything. Relationships are everything. Relationships are everything. And that means we treat people like we like them. We treat our customers like we like them. We treat our clients like we like them. We treat our team members like we like them. We treat ourselves like we like us. We treat money like we like it, like it's a friend and an ally. We treat competitors, although we'll deal with that big old that lie too. We treat people like we like them because we value our relationships. We are tribal animals. We know we cannot survive alone. That's why we're so concerned about what everybody else thinks. It's a survival mechanism. So we honor those relationships. We don't trick people. We don't manipulate people. We look for the people who are like us, who share our values, and we rejoice in those relationships. And we understand that the relationship is more important than the sale, than this workshop, than this transaction, than this contract. The relationship is more important than this immediate thing. We think long-term with our relationships because we don't know where this is going. You know, you may meet somebody at a conference and then they become a client and then they become a colleague and then all of a sudden they hire you to be, and they're your boss, and then you adopt their brother's puppy. I don't know, you know, but by making the relationship paramount, you get to create a world that you really want to live in. Because when you put your relationships first, you are constantly calling yourself to be a better person. You are calling yourself to be more honest, more giving, more warm, more substantial, more whatever it is that you like to see in your relationships. Right? So people are not a means to an end, people are the end. So that's rule number 2. Rule number 1 is right-sized dreams. Rule number 2, relationships are everything. Everything. And you're great at relationships. See what I mean about how you're already good at all this stuff? You're great at relationships. Good. The old paradigm sort of says like, get them, get them, get them, kill, 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 you know, winning is everything. We got to beat them. There's winners and there's losers. And you got to be a winner. And you got to be number one on the sales team and be in the President's Club and the 99th percentile. And, you know, you win, they lose. You win. Win, win, win. Okay, the new version is win, 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 win. We are looking for scenarios, for deals, for bargains in which everyone wins. We are looking for win, 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 win. There are no losers in the new paradigm. We do not leave anyone out. There is only opportunity for win. When I'm thinking about the big yes, when I'm planning the big yes, I want it to be a win for you, for the people who are attending, for the people who aren't attending. I want it to be a win for the hotel. I want it to be a win for the sponsors. I want it to be a win for my team. I want it to be a win for my event planners. I want it to be the kind of thing that everybody who comes in contact with the event in any way, for the florist who makes the display for the stage, I want it to feel like, wow, what a blessing this is. Wow, what a great opportunity this is. Wow, what a lovely thing this is. I can't wait to come next year. And that's how I approach every decision. Where's the win, 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 win? Right? It's a whole new way of thinking about doing business. And it's great because it means you can charge whatever you charge and say whatever you say and say, here's why. Here's why it's like this. It's so that everyone can win. You feel me? Where can it be a win, 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 win? You know, if you're not charging enough for what you do, that's not a win-win. It's not a win for you. You lose because you're not making enough. And it's not even really a win for them because people know when they're not paying the value for something, it feels weird. there's a little thrill of like, ooh, I got this great deal, but it's not right. I've overpaid people. When I feel like they're not charging enough, I'm like, screw that, I'm paying you twice because you're not charging enough, and it doesn't feel right to me to take what you have to offer for as little as you're charging it for. Right? So think about the win-win-win-win-win. Good. All right, let me check in on the chat. Will this be available on a replay later? Yes, it will. Oh, yes, you could also click through to YouTube. It's being broadcast on YouTube. Good. Daisy, this question just disappeared. Let's see what's happening. Good. The relationship, it makes more sense now. Yes, good. Chronic perfectionism. I never know what to say. I can see the top half of that message. Good. Yeah. What to say to people and how to build those relationships. We'll talk about that at Big Yes too, actually, about how to have a sales conversation that doesn't feel like a sales conversation, but just feels like, can I help you? And if so, how? Good. And in fact, this sort of goes to the next thing. I just want to go to this. People have always been scary for me. I never know what to say. I guess we have to get over it. Yeah. All right. Here's what I want to say about that, because I have an intuition around this, and you guys can tell me if I'm right or not. Finish the sentence. People are scary because, and I'm going to guess at the end is something like they might judge me, right? Or they might not like me. So let's go one step further. People are scary because they might think that I'm what? People are scary because they might think that I'm too demanding, too crazy, too artsy, what? Let's see. What do you guys think? People are scary because they might think that I'm, what is it? Too weird. Good. So here's my suggestion on that. Oh, now it's showing up. Hold on. They might think that I'm a fake. They might reject me. They might think that I'm a fraud. They might not respect me. They might think I'm not enough. Excellent. They might think I'm weird or foolish. They're scary because they hurt me. They might think I'm money grubbing. They might think I'm too particular. They might think I don't have their needs in mind. They might think I'm greedy, out of touch with reality. I'm no good, a ripoff. Excellent. Oh, I love you guys. Selfish, stupid, great. My services are too expensive, not a real artist, too Pollyanna. Good, good, excellent. Okay. So here's bombshell number 2. Here's what I think. I don't think it's that you're worried that other people will think that. I think it's that you're worried that you'll think that about you. So your work is around that word, whatever you wrote down for yourself. Pollyanna, fraud, not a real artist, money grubbing, not sincere, a fraud, a fake. I want you to make some art about being a fraud. Make some art about being hurt. Make some art about being money grubbing, being unrealistic, being whatever, misunderstood, thinking that you're rubbish, not worth it. Yep. This is your assignment, right? Just today, I want you to take 5 or 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be good, but I want you to unpack that feeling you have of they might think I'm blank. Because it's not them thinking it, it's you. They're thinking it isn't holding you back because you haven't even offered it to them. It's you thinking it that's holding you back. It's your big fat opinion about what being a fraud is, about what being a real artist is, about what being sincere is. So I want you to get inside that and just make some art about it. Make a song about it, do a dance about it, make a drawing, make a poem, make a whatever, you get out the Sculpey clay, you know, whatever it is you like. Just fraud, what does that mean? Insincere, what does that mean? What does that feel like? What does that look like? What color is that? And get that out. Get it out into form so that you can start working with those feelings. Because I guarantee you, as long as you think that somebody's going to call you a fraud, you're never going to put your work out there. Why would you? You think they're going to call you a fraud. But I'm telling you, it's not them, it's you. All right, you accept the challenge, take the pledge. Yes, Sam, I will make some art about whatever word I wrote down. Yes? Yes. Good. Good, good. Oh, you guys are so insightful. This is great. Yep. Okay, good. Yes, I definitely do. Yes, I will work on how I hold myself. Yeah. Do some, got it, says Lacey. Yes. Rosie says, this is such a relief to see other people have the same fears. We're all bonkers. I have awards and I still think I'm not good enough. Oh, believe me. I was having this thought the other day. I was thinking like, well, yeah, but you know, I'm not a real writer. I've published 5 books. Like, what about that isn't a real writer? But I still have that feeling of like, I'm not a real writer. But I'm not going to wait and let the feeling of being a real writer, I'm not going to wait to feel like a real writer to start writing. You know what I mean? Okay, good. Now I'm getting into teaching and I shouldn't be. Okay, good. Here's another in the new rules. Okay. There's something about old business that feels like you might get tricked, right? Like they're going to trick you. They're going to bait and switch you. They're going to manipulate you into something. They're going to, you know, not deliver what they promise. They're going to take advantage of you somehow, right? I think that's a very common belief about business, that you know, you just can't trust anybody. But the new rule, this new wave of creative entrepreneurship that I'm seeing all over the place says, be transparent. Be clear, be honest, be direct. And Seth Godin actually used the word, said it's not so much transparent as translucent, which I love, because translucent says, you know, you let the light shine through. Not everybody has to see everything. You know, you don't need to let people know all the nitty-gritty details of everything you're doing all the time. That's boring and burdensome. But you can let the truth of who you are and why you do what you do shine through. You can tell people why your pricing is the way it is. You can tell them, you can trust them with the truth. And if people aren't into it, bye. God bless the unsubscribes, right? The people who aren't into what you're doing, let them go. Walk on, people. Let them find their own tribe. You want the people who are already into what you're doing, who see you, who get you, and who get on board with you. And you can be really transparent with them. And it's great, because then when you screw up, guess what you get to say? I am so sorry. I screwed up. And you don't make excuses. You know, you might share a reason. I'm so sorry I screwed up. This, you know, we had this technical difficulty or this happened, but it doesn't matter. Which leads me to another rule, right? This other rule, there's this thing, I think we've all seen this in business, which is like sort of cover your ass, right? Don't get in trouble. Don't mess up. It's got to be perfect. And if it's not perfect, you better pretend like it's perfect and never let them see you sweat. And, you know, what did I write down here? Cover your ass. It's not my fault. Those are the rules, ma'am. You know, those are the rules, ma'am. Sorry, those are the rules, right? And here's the new way. Here's the new way. 100% responsibility. You take 100% responsibility for the experience that you are having, for the results that you are getting, and for the results and the experience that your people are getting. Soak in this for a second. 100% responsibility. So for people who think that business isn't spiritual, welcome to the spiritual side of business. welcome to the spiritual side of entrepreneurship, because the minute you go, okay, if I'm 100% responsible for what's happening, not always for what's happening, but for how I'm responding to what's happening. What choices do I want to be making in this moment? You know, something bad, you know, we all have those customers that there's a couple of people that I just trip in front of constantly. Like if they're in the room, I'm going to spill red wine on the white couch. It's just going to happen. Like, do you have those people in your life that like, you just always embarrass yourself in front of them somehow? Yeah. So, so to be able to just say like, look, I accept 100% responsibility for what's happening here. I'm not responsible for you. I'm responsible to you. Right? That's another natalism. I'm not responsible for you. I'm responsible to you. So I take care of my side of the street all the time. I was talking to an entrepreneur who didn't want to raise her prices, and it kind of came out at the end that part of the reason she didn't want to raise her prices is because she felt like that would force her to hold herself to a higher standard. Like she was going to have to be on time for her clients. Like she was going to have her shit together better. She was going to have nicer looking worksheets. She was going to have to be more organized. She was going to have to do her billing better. And I'm like, yeah. And don't you want to be that way anyway, no matter how much you're charging? Even if you were working for free, don't you want to be that person? Right? And I think sometimes we think, well, if I were in business, I would have to be a whole different person, or I would have to, you know, develop all these skills I don't have or something. No, you mostly just have to be the person you are, but you have to take 100% responsibility for that. And that requires some real spiritual maturity, because it means there's no victimizing, there's no game playing, there's no dissembling or running and hiding, there's no playing small. 100% responsibility. The great news is, once you recognize that you're 100% responsible for your results, you can then create whatever results you want. You just go like, oh, wow, I've been creating this. I totally take responsibility for that. That's not somebody else's fault. That's my problem. So now I'm going to start to alter my behavior to get the results I do want. That goes back to that right-sized dream thing, right? Okay, good. Good. The web address at the bottom of the new rule cards I'm holding up. Excellent. Well spotted. It says www.bigyesrevolution.com. Bigyesrevolution.com. And actually, let me go ahead and pop in this offer. So yeah, let's talk about that right now. Actually, this is a good time for that. So all of this stuff that I'm talking about, like I said, I hope that you're making display offer. Okay. I hope that you're taking notes on this. I hope that you're starting to get some sparky ideas about like, oh, that is a problem for me, or oh, I could move forward in that way, or oh, that would be interesting, or you know, you're going like, oh crap, I don't know what I really want to do, or I don't know how to have relationships with people in that way that I want to, or I'm not sure how to take 100% responsibility. All of this stuff is stuff we're going to be covering at the Big Big Yes, July 9th to the 12th at the Westin LAX in Los Angeles. It's right next door to Los Angeles Airport, the LAX. So it's super easy in and out. They've given us a great room rate of $149 a night. This is an event that I've done. This is the third year in a row that I've done it. The first 2 years it was a little bit smaller. This year it's a little bit bigger and better. For those of you who have been before, I know some of you already have your tickets, and I'm super excited to see you. And if you're not bringing a friend yet, make sure you bring a friend, because you can bring a friend for $99, which, yeah. How amazing of a deal is that? Bring a friend for $99? Come on. What do I want to say to you about Big Yes? So I created the Big Big Yes for exactly the reason I created this webinar, because it's important to me that you get your work out there. It's important to me that you get well compensated for your work. It's important to me that you are not one of the 83% of people who feel regret that you never moved forward on your dreams. But what I know is that there's not a way, there's not a system. It's not like I'm going to say, you're going to make $10,000 through teleseminars, and I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions on how to do all that. I mean, I could, but, but what's important is that there's a your way. There's your way to do it. In the same way that no one can make your art but you, no one can create your business but you. And you need to figure out how that is, what is that right-sized goal that lights you up, that makes you excited and makes it easy for you to move forward, to charge, to have friends, to have colleagues, to build your tribe, to grow whatever it is you would like to grow. Some of you, you know, an extra $100 a month would be good, a couple $100 a month. That would be great for you. Some of you would like to support yourselves. You'd like to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. Some of you would like to build an empire. Like, screw it, I want to be Martha Stewart. I want to be Oprah. All of those things are possible, but only if you do it your way. So it's not like I've got a system and I'm just going to tell you how to do my system. What I have is an incredible system for you to figure out what your incredible system is. So it's 3 days of us working on both the inner and outer game of entrepreneurship, because heaven knows it's both. And I do almost all the teaching. There's no real pitching. There's not really anything for sale. I mean, I have another program that we'll talk about, but that's about it. There's an amazing group of people. Everything you're noticing about how smart and insightful everybody else is, all those people will be in the room at Big Yes. So it's this amazing, amazing room full of just this brightest, smartest, most talented, coolest people ever. What do I want to tell you? They've got great food. We've got a VIP meal plan that if you opt for that, we can get you your gluten-free, vegan, sugar-free, dark chocolate only on Tuesdays, whatever your dietary needs are, we can meet those. And now, so if you go to bigyesrevolution.com and get your ticket now, the ticket price is $7.99. If you buy your ticket before June 12th, which is before next Friday, you will get a $300 travel or hotel voucher. So what that means is you buy your ticket, get yourself to LA, stay at the hotel, or don't stay at the hotel. It's okay with me either way. And when you register, you will get a check for $300 back, right? So that I can help offset some of your expenses, whether it's travel expenses or hotel expenses, or some of you who live in LA might need to hire a sitter, might need to rent a car, whatever, might want to get a new outfit. I don't know. It's a voucher for whatever expenses you incur. And you don't have to show me receipts or anything. I trust you. I'll take your word for it. And I'll just keep track of anybody who books between now and June 12th. You'll get a $300 voucher back at the door when you register. We'll hand you a check, okay? That's how that's gonna work. And as a special incentive for those of you who are on the fence, it is now 10:52 on Wednesday, the 3rd of June, Pacific time. If you get your ticket before 10:52, okay, I'll go ahead and say noon, on Thursday, the 4th of June, I will enter you in a drawing to win a free hotel room. So I'll pay for your hotel room. And I don't know how many people are going to buy their tickets between now, within the next 24 hours. I hope a lot, but I'm guessing probably not that many. So your odds are pretty good of winning a free hotel room. So if you think you might be interested in going, go to bigyesrevolution.com. It'll show you all the details. There's frequently asked questions. There's some testimonials. There's some other information there. Go ahead and get your ticket. It is refundable up until I think the 15th of June. So even if you're not 100% sure you can make it, you might want to go ahead and grab the ticket today. So you can get yours for $7.99. You can bring a friend for $99. That means if you go sharesies, you can go for like $300 a piece for 3 straight days of training with me. There kind of aren't any other teachers. It's pretty much all me. So, and if you had any ahas at all in the last half hour, you know how action-packed these 3 days are going to be. So that's what I got. That's what I got. You get a $300 travel voucher if you book before the 12th of June. If you book in the next 24 hours, you're in a drawing to win a free hotel room. I'm going to give away one of those, right, to whoever in these 24-hour period. That's what I'm going to do. Let me go back to the chat and see how we're doing. Good. How we doing? Sorry, it's scrolling things being a little weird. group maturity. How do we find our tribe? Yeah, well, that's a good question. And that's something we'll for sure be working on in Big Big Yes. Because that's what you want to be selling to people who are already buying, is the short version of that. So you want to find the people who are already interested in what it is you're doing and then go to where they are, right? Or have them come to you, but it's easier to go to where they are. We'll talk about how to do that at Big Big Yes, because it's a bigger topic than I can cover in just this thing. Roxanne says, I clicked the offer and you went away. Oh, it should take you to another thing. Let me do the offer again and see if I can make it so that it doesn't go away. It should open in a new window, but maybe it didn't. Slight technical difficulties, please bear with us. Load. Open in a new tab. Okay. Let's try that. That should probably work. Otherwise, it's bigyesrevolution.com. And Mariah says I got the wrong information. Okay. Valerie says, the hotel voucher good for the stay during the seminar? Yeah, like I said, it's a check for $300. So you can spend it however you want to spend it. So you'll want to book your hotel room, you know, ahead of time on your own credit card. Before the 12th of June, because that's when our room block expires. I can't guarantee that they're going to have that rate available after that. This offer sounds great. Yes, I think it's great too. Thank you for thinking that. Good. Okay, where's the chat gone? Yeah, the chat went away because I put the offer up, but now that should be back or something. Good. How we doing? Good. Sorry, I'm trying to see what's. I want to make sure I answer any of your questions around this, and it's for some reason the chat keeps jumping back to the end and coming back. So let's see if I can get to the top. Good. I hope I can come to LA, but I know about you now, Sam, and we'll get your book and try to move forward in my life and art. Excellent. Yeah, I've got people coming from, no joke, Norway, New Zealand, Israel. So those of you and I've got people coming from Vermont and from Florida and from Illinois and from Minnesota and from Canada. So, you know, people are coming from all over the world for this. And it's very intimate. It's very real. It's not like you just sit there and take notes for 3 days. It is super interactive. You will walk out of there with a plan for whatever you want to do. I want to speak to groups. I want to make $100,000 a year. I want to sell one thing ever. I want to, whatever it is. I want to take all my skills and talents and put them together into something so I don't feel so disparate all the time. You know, I want to know how to market. I want to know how to find my tribe. I want to know how to have a sales conversation that I don't want to run away from. All of that we're going to be covering, and in this, through this lens of what is this new way of doing business. So let's keep going. Yeah, so bigyesrevolution.com, that's the spot to go to claim your ticket. And if you do it, like I said, in the next 24 hours, you will be entered into a drawing to win a free hotel room. And if you do it by June 12th, you'll get a $300 travel voucher back. Okay, good. Looks like we're back on. Excellent. Good. And for those of you who are having the immediate thought like, oh my God, I would love to go, but there's not enough money. I can't possibly afford it. I totally get it. I totally get it. And here's the thing. That's an old rule, right? The old way says there's not enough. We have to be conservative. We can't be, you know, there's not enough. You've got to keep a close watch on every dime. You got to clip coupons, you know? And here's the new rule. Abundance. Abundance. There's lots of money. There's no shortage of money anywhere, ever. Look outside. Do you see all the people spending all the money on all kinds of things all the time? I don't care what they say about the economy. All kinds of people spending all kinds of money on all kinds of things all the time. There's tons of money out there. It may not be in your wallet right this red hot second, but it's out there and it's not that hard to get. It is hard to get if you keep believing that it's hard to get. But once you open your eyes to the abundance and the opportunities, I guarantee you, it's there. And if you're really interested in coming and you really feel like, oh, there's no way I can afford it, I want you to do this for me first. First, I want you to decide, because that's really the first step, is make a decision. If money weren't an issue, would you come? And be super honest with yourself. If money weren't an issue, would I go to the Big Big Yes? And if your answer is like, well, maybe not, I don't know, there's these other concerns, okay, great, deal with those other concerns. Or maybe the answer is no, which is fine. If the answer is like, yes, I would, if it weren't for the money, I would 100% be there. Great. Great. We're clever adult people. I bet you can figure out where to find the money. And the way to start, this is a tip I got from my friend Steph Tuss, who's an amazing coach. Steph says, make a list of 30 ways that money could come into your life. First of all, figure out how much it is, right? So $7.99 for the ticket, however much for the hotel, however much for the plane fare, however much to get a babysitter, however much for a new outfit. Figure out all the expenses, write those numbers down, and then write down 30 ways you could get that amount. Okay, well, I get $300 back at the door, so that's 300 right there. And whether you think they're practical or not, just write down 30 ways. Don't stop till you get to 30, and then pick one and do it. Pick one and do it. So it's a 3-step thing. Figure out how much money it actually is, how much you're actually going to need to do this. Write down 30 ways that a person could get that money, and then do one of them. This is also a great way to have the conversation. If you've got one of those spouses or partners who's going to roll their eyes like, really? Another workshop? Really? Another big plan? Really? If you do this, if you say, here's what's happening. I'm going to the Big Big Yes. Here's how much it's going to cost. Here are 30 ways that I can bring that money in, and here's one I've already done. It's very difficult to argue with somebody who's got that kind of conviction and who shows that kind of forward motion. All right, so that's my 3-second advice on that. Let's see, Martin says the Make $1,000 webinar made me realize business can be an art. Good to hear this message. I need to hear this. Yes, 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 yes. How do you schedule a one-on-one conversation with me? Email me and we'll figure that out. What if you're used to running and hiding half the time? Well, good. Now you know what the problem is. Stop running and hiding. I mean, that's a short answer. We can get more into it at Big Big Yes, but yeah. Wendy, going back to this idea of spiritual maturity, Wendy says, is this the same as holding yourself to higher standards than anyone else holds you to? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not really sure the answer to that, actually. Clemencia says, how do I know my true passion when I like to do a lot of things? Yeah, I've got a tool for that. I've got a mechanism for that. It can be, you're right, but that can be really hard to figure out because you're good at a lot of things. You're good at a lot of things. Good. Oh, what's the www something at the bottom of your new rule cards? Yeah, it says www.bigyesrevolution.com, which is where the information about the Big Yes is. Let's see if I can hold it up. bigyesrevolution.com. That's what that says. Jennifer, I'm seeing half a question, something about going into debt doing it. So I don't know what the first half of the question is. I'm actually, people like to make a really big deal about debt. I don't think it's that big of a deal, frankly. Especially when you're a small business. Big businesses go to banks to get loans. Small businesses use credit cards. It's not fun. It's not your number one choice. Obviously, if you can avoid going into debt to build your business, then you want to. But sometimes you have to incur some debt, and then you make a plan to pay it back as quickly as possible. But I don't think it's, I've accumulated way more debt than I ever thought I would, and it's been worth every dime. I mean, that's what I've had to do to invest and to grow and to get to where I am. If I only used the cash I had in my pocket, we would not be having this conversation right now. Good. Patty says, I'm so excited about going to the Big Big Yes. I'm ready to make $10,000. I'm on my way to living my fabulous, fun life. Yay! So I'm going to out Patty here. I haven't even asked her permission to this, but I'm going to tell her story a little bit because it's so very much what I'm talking about. Patty made the investment in the How to Make $1,000 webinar that I did a couple of weeks ago, which was tuition for that was $500, and it included a ticket to Big Big Yes. And that webinar is a particular, sort of a very ultra condensed version of what we're going to be doing at Big Big Yes. It sort of walks you in the side door through your money beliefs and turns you around 3 times and then spits you out with an action plan, surprisingly, on how you can make $1,000. And Patty had this great idea for a business, and she emailed me a couple days later because one of the things we had talked about was making sure that your inner 9-year-old is on board with what you're doing with your business plan, and letting your inner 9-year-old have some input, getting some sparkles, getting some coloring books, getting some fun in there. And so she had been writing some stuff for her website about this new thing that she'd come up with, which was such a great idea. And it was coming out really like blah, 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 sales pitch, snooze, right? And then she remembered what we had talked about her inner 9-year-old. And she started to write the information about her offering like a fairy tale adventure, like coming out of the pit of despair, crossing the swampy, dismal marsh into the land of blah, blah, across the bridge of clarity into the land of, right? She had this whole like sort of fantasy Dungeons and Dragons map of her business, of her offering. And it was a way to start talking about it that had her totally jazzed up. She couldn't wait to tell somebody else about it. The minute she told somebody else about it, they bought it like that. Right? So now she's got client number 1 the next day because she found a way to communicate the truth of what she was doing in a way that felt great to her. It was really fun and imaginative and not like the way anybody else does it. So this is what I'm saying. There's not a the way, but there's your way, and I can get you there. I can unlock that door for you. I can unlock that door of, I don't know that I can do it. I can unlock that door of fear and uncertainty and fear of judgment. I can unlock the door of, I don't know how to operate a business. I can unlock the door of tech. I can unlock the door of marketing, and I can unlock the door of sales. I realize that sounds like a big claim, but I've done it before. I've done it before. Good. How are we doing? We're a little bit after the hour. See, Daisy says, I'm selling a house, so we'll have money swirling about, but I'm terrified it will all just go. Daisy, I got a newsflash for you. It's definitely going to all just go. You know how I know that? Because money goes. This is the other thing about spending money on something like Big Big Yes. It's not like if you don't come, you're going to have an extra $799 at the end of the year. Have you noticed that? It's not like if you don't make this investment in yourself, that money's still going to be there. It's going to get spent on something. It's going to go somewhere. And the money that you invest in yourself always pays off. It always pays off. So it's your choice about how seriously you're going to take yourself and how willing you are to step into this new country. And I get it that it's terrifying. Of course it's terrifying. There's a reason most people don't do this. There's a reason most people can't do it. But you can. You can. Good. Clemencia, about finding my true passion. Do I use the same system that you have in your book about finding my next project? Sure, that's a great place to start. That's a great place to start. Wow, needed to hear that about debt. I'm in debt recovery and it's so heavy. Yeah, honestly, I don't think it's that big a deal. I really don't. Patricia says, client number 2 coming in on Friday. Way to go, Patty. Big, big smiles. Yes, exactly. Good, 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 good. How are we doing? Terry says, maybe on vacation. Yeah, you know, you could come to Big Yes and the rest of the family could go to Disneyland. I'm just saying. You know, there's a reason it's so conveniently located at LAX. You could bring the family. Good, and yeah, and if you're not sure, you have additional questions, just email me and Leonore or I will get back to you and we can talk it through. Obviously, I don't want you to do it if it's not the right thing for you. If I can't help you, I don't want you there. There's also, there's also a money back refund once you're there. You know, if you come to day one and you're like, this is not what I thought it was, this isn't working for me, just let the team know, give the notebook back. They'll give you your money back, I think less a 10% admin fee just to cover some of our administrative costs, but that's no harm, no foul. You know, like I said, if I can't help you or if it's not really working for you, I'm not interested. It's not worth it to me to have you there. You know, that wouldn't make any sense. I want it to be a win-win-win-win-win, right? Okay. Good, excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, I've got a few more of these thingamawalkers, and I want to make sure I'm here to answer your questions. So let's keep going. I just want to check and see. Good. Well, this one sort of goes without saying, but you know, the old rule says, you know, you be afraid, follow conventional wisdom, do it the old way, don't mess around, don't take risks, you know, or take very calculated risks and know in advance whether or not something's going to work and test it and everything else. And the new rule says creativity. It's not just about thinking outside the box. It's that there never was a box to begin with. It's not about thinking outside the box. It's that there was never a box to begin with. I swear to you, 90% of the success that I've had is because I had no idea it wasn't possible. Nobody ever told me that it couldn't be done, so I just did it. And I've doubled and tripled my sales every single year that I've been in business. And I am not a crazy person. Like, I am not stressed out. I don't work 1,000,000 hours a week. I take walks, I read, I see my friends, I cook dinner. I made this roast cod last night with like olives and lemon and a little white wine. It's so good. You know, I've got time to shop at the farmer's market and cook and have my life. It's really, really possible, but it's not possible if you do it the same old way. I think that's a lot of it for a lot of creative people. We've looked at the way that business has been done over the years and gone like, well, that's kind of boring. That's not really my thing. I don't really like that. That doesn't really speak to me. Yeah, good. It shouldn't. That's not the way you're going to do it. You're going to do it differently. You're going to do it differently. And we'll figure out what that differently is. Good. Okay, this might be my favorite. So, you know, when you were a kid and or a young adult and they told you like, well, you can't just wish for it. You know, you can't just, you know, just sit there and dream about it and have it happen. You know, you can't just, you know, you've got to quit imagining things, quit living in a fairyland and, you know, be practical. Okay, the new rule of creative entrepreneurship is use your magical powers. Use your magical powers. You have magical powers, use them. And your magical power might be persuasion. Your magical power might be seeing patterns where other people don't see them. Your magical power may be the ability to call up the exact amount of money you need right in the moment you need it. I had that magical power. I still have that magical power for a long time. It was great. You know, your magical power might be being able to turn nothing into something, right? That surviving on crumbs thing. Your magical power might be your intuition. Your magical power might be knowing when someone's lying to themselves or to you. Your ability to call bullshit. Your magical power might be your gift for revolution. Your magical power might be your sense of color or timing or comedy or writing, shape, teaching, healing. These are your magical powers. They cannot be quantified. They cannot be sold. They cannot be transferred. They're only yours. And your business will succeed because of those things. And it will only succeed if you dream it. It will only succeed if you use your imagination. It will only succeed if you use your intuition. Right? You try and cut yourself off from those magical powers. No wonder. I mean, that's why some of those day jobs suck so much, you know? You get there and you feel like, wow, who I am really isn't really welcome in this office. They don't want to know who I am as a spiritual person. They don't care who I am creatively or sexually or what my intuition is or what my gifts are. They just want me to be a functionary. And that's why we feel like, oh my God, these fluorescent lights are sucking my soul away. Yes, it's because those fluorescent lights were sucking your soul away. When you're a creative entrepreneur, you get to use all of you, 100% of you. And in fact, you have to. You have to use all of you, right? I have a gift for the impossible. Doing things that are impossible is one of my magical powers. Things that are totally normal and every day, I often can't do. Impossible things, not so hard. So what are your magical powers? How can you use those to move yourself forward and to make those right-sized dreams come true? Robin says, if you want to come to Big Yes, do it. If I can get there as a single mom with super low income and turn my biz around, anyone can. I'm 3/4 of the way to my $1,000 this month, 3 months in. Yay! Yay, Robin! And the other Robin says, I'm super inspired. Thanks, Sam. Good. Robin says, love it. Jennifer asked, when will this webinar be available for recast? Immediately. If you go to YouTube, it'll be up immediately as soon as I end it. And I'll send out the recording probably later today or tomorrow morning. But share it with people, absolutely, absolutely. Good, super inspired, yay, love it. Good, I'm gonna share with you one more rule. So yeah, the old one was use your magical powers, and really, if you'll pardon my extreme language, oh, there's the website again. Yeah, fuck practical, use your magical powers. I mean, practical matters too, I'm not saying that. There is room for logic and for planning and for budgeting, and we absolutely need all that, but we need your magical powers more, right? Other people can do the budgeting. So the old rule says it's hard, and you can't, and you're not qualified, and nobody wants it anyway, and nobody's gonna pay for that, and even if they could, you can't do it, and who do you think you are, and all that. And the new rule says, you can do it. You can do it. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. You wouldn't be here if you couldn't do it. You would never even have heard of me if you couldn't do it. There's a million billion people out there who are not on my email list. They've never even heard of me because they're too stuck. You are not too stuck. And I can tell because you made it here, you found me, you got on my list, and you showed up for this. And that tells me that you've got the vision and the drive and the determination to make it happen. So go to bigyesrevolution.com and get your ticket for the Big Yes. Get it today so that you might win a free hotel room, right? That would help. And get it, certainly get it before the 12th of June so you can get that $300 rebate, okay? And like I said, you buy your ticket, make your hotel reservation, or do whatever you need to do. When you register for Big Yes, when you come to check in, we will give you a check for $300 back, and you can apply that to whatever expenses you have. I'm not gonna ask you for receipts. I'm not gonna ask to look at your plane ticket voucher or your credit cards or anything. I'm just trusting you that it's probably gonna cost you $300 to come, one way or another, even if you live in LA, and I wanna help offset some of those expenses for you. So that's the plan. You can bring a friend for $99. You can sign up for the VIP meal plan, which I super recommend because it gives you a chance to talk to me one-on-one and some of the other people, get to know them a little bit better. Talk about where is your tribe. They're probably at the Westin LAX, July 9th to the 12th. I'll tell you the schedule a little bit. We start Thursday the 9th with a little cocktail party, a little getting to know you. Hi, hello. Friday, all day teaching. Saturday, all day teaching and into the evening. Sunday, we're done around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So you can fly out that afternoon if you want, or stay an extra day. I really recommend actually staying an extra day to sort of integrate and put things together and breathe a little bit after it's, because it's fun, but it's intense. Or it's fun and it's intense, is what I want to say. Okay. Veronica says, that's one of the things I like about you, Sam. A lot of internet business teachers and such present business methodologies in the businessy way that's very hard for an artist to shoehorn the weird work into a way that makes sense. Yes, thank you for saying that, Veronica, because it's really very much, it happens to be my particular zone of genius and something I love to do. And something I was super surprised at. I mean, when I started the Organized Artist Company in 2009, full time, I've been teaching that Get It Done class since like 2000. But when I started doing Organized Artist full time, I knew nothing. I knew nothing about business. I knew nothing about entrepreneurship. I knew nothing about marketing or email marketing or internet marketing, nothing. And so I started to learn, right? I went to 3-day events. I went to workshops. I listened to webinars. I listened to podcasts. I read books. And it was like learning Danish. Like, I was like, what are they saying? CTA and CTR and SEO and CSS and HTML and like all this language and your conversion, your optimization, your A/B testing, and your this. And I was like, what are they saying? And then, much like learning Danish, much like immersion, like I started to get it and I started to get it and I started to hear words over and over again. And I would ask people, and like I took baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. And then once I finally got fluent in what it was they were talking about, I was like, wait a minute. This is what you guys are talking about? This is the big mystery? This is what all that weird language is about? It's so simple. Everything about marketing and sales and business is so simple. It's just about helping people. It's about communicating with people in a way they understand. It's about authenticity and trust. It's about being generous. It's about everything that creatives and artists do, like falling off a log. You're already great. The things that businesses struggle with, they struggle with authenticity. They struggle with telling a good story because they're not a person, they're a big block. You are a person. You are already authentic. You already have a great story. They struggle with quality. You already have quality. You already over-deliver. This is what I mean. You're uniquely qualified. You've got everything it takes. We just need to clarify and structure it in a way that you can understand what it is you're offering and get it out there. That's what the Big Big Yes is all about. It's not that hard, but it does require doing, and it does require you showing up. It requires you showing up. So go to bigyesrevolution.com and get your ticket today so that you can win the free hotel room. Let's see. Peggy says, Albert Einstein said, logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Exactly. Exactly. Good. So we're getting to the end of our time together. I want to make sure that I answer all of your questions. Don't leave you all hanging here. So if you've asked a question and I haven't answered it, please ask it again because I probably missed it in the scroll. Or you can just email me later, but it's great if you ask it in the chat so then everybody can hear the answer, because if you're asking the question, probably everybody's asking the question. Good. Excellent. Good. Looks like you guys are in good shape. Let me give it just a second because I know there's a little delay between when you type and when I see it. So let's just give it one more second. But otherwise, big, big yes at the Westin LAX, right here in Los Angeles. Not here, I live about 90 minutes from LA, so there in LA. July 9th to the 12th. And again, really tune into your intuition. Really, let's use your magical powers right now. Like, is this really the right thing for you right now? And if it is, don't let anything stop you. You don't have to survive on crumbs anymore. The abundance is real. Your gifts and talents are real. The audience is real. The clients and customers are real. Right? They're there. We just need to set you up so you can go get them. Patty says, Sam, you're amazing. Thank you for being such a generous, inspiring human being. Thank you for that. My pleasure. Martin says, thank you for your belief in us, Sam. Martin, thank you. Martin, I'm especially counting on you to come to Big Big Yes, by the way. You especially. Martin wrote one of possibly my favorite testimonial for the Get It Done workshop ever. So I have a special interest in you coming. That's just me. No pressure. No pressure. I have a special interest in all of you coming. If you made it this far into this webinar, if you are this interested in your own success, then it's time. It's time. You're ready. It's time, and the money will show up. You know, it always does. The last year when I did this, I had a woman who, she wrote me afterwards. She said she really wanted to come. She had no idea where the money was going to come from, like totally petrified. But she bought the ticket anyway because she wanted to be in the drawing for the free hotel room. And the minute she pressed send on the like buy the ticket thing, she checked her email and her landlord contacted her and said, oh, by the way, would you be willing to do some consulting work with a friend of mine on this grant that he's writing, and I will waive your next month's rent? Like when instant gratification takes too long, right? Now, I can't guarantee that if you buy a ticket to Big Big Yes, somebody's going to give you free rent. But I do notice that this kind of thing happens a lot. So, you know, have a little confidence. Robin, are there special guest speakers this year? Not really. I don't want to, it's kind of a surprise. There's one on Sunday, a gentleman who's going to be talking about something that I don't really have any expertise in, that I think you guys are going to be super interested in. So there's one special training on Sunday. Otherwise, almost all the teaching is being done by me. Yeah, there's sort of a surprise. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not at liberty to say. But it's going to be great, and it's like I said, it's mostly me teaching. Carol says, right now, need to earn $5,000 quick. Excellent, great, you can do it. You can do it. $5,000 is not that much. I know that's weird, but it's true. It's not that much. You can do it. Go for 10. You know, if you need 5, aim for 10. And same thing, just make a list of 30 ways that that money could possibly come in, or some portion of that money could possibly come in. Even things that you think are unrealistic or that you would normally not consider doing, and go ahead and pick one of them and do it. Money loves speed. Money loves action. Don't ponder. It's only money. It's not that big a deal. Okay, good. This has been very inspiring. Thank you so much. My pleasure. That's what I'm here for. And I'll be especially gratified if the inspiration leads to action. If the inspiration leads to commitment and action, and whether it's to come to Big Big Yes, great, or to do something else, great. But as you've heard me say 100 times, and I'll say it 100,000 times more, the world needs your art. The world needs your gifts. The world needs what you were brought here to do. Don't hold out on us anymore. Don't hold out on yourself anymore. Don't be one of the 82.7% of people who regret not having moved forward on their dreams. Your dreams are there for a reason. They've stuck around all these years for a reason. It's not some crazy half-baked idea. It's a plan. It just needs a little help. Okay? All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for being here. Let's do one more round of breathing just to close out this particular circle. I urge you to watch this webinar again. If you've been taking notes and you're getting sparky ideas, go ahead and watch it again. Share it with a friend. Do it with someone you love. The more momentum you can build up around this, the better. And then I'll see you in July. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you. Thank you for doing this with me.